Thinking if there's it is you're cheaper. That's very good.
All right, we'd like to welcome and call to order the regular meeting of the West Valley City Council. It is September 5th, 2023, and we're beginning at 6:30 p.m. in the council chambers of West Valley City Hall. We will excuse Councilman Fitzsimmonu tonight, and we have Councilman Hune online. And at the dais, we have Councilman Whetstone, Councilman Harmon, Councilman Christensen, Councilman Norfelt. We're joined at the dais with our city manager, Mr. Pyle, and our city recorder, Ms. Kamick, and then myself. Our opening ceremony will turn the time over to Councilman Harmon.
Thank you, Mayor. We'll just please stand and we'll recite the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. We now have our approval of the minutes for August 22nd, 2023. I'll turn it to the council for discussion or a motion on those minutes.
I move for approval of those minutes.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And those pass. All right. We now have a proclamation recognizing the month of September 2022 as Founders and Constitution Month. And we'll turn the time over to Councilman Whetstone.
Thank you, Mayor. This is a proclamation recognizing the month of September 2023 as Founders and Constitution Month. Whereas the United States Constitution was signed on September 17th, 1787 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And the month of September has been recognized by the state of Utah as American Founders and Constitution Month. And National Constitution Week is September 17th to 23. And it is included within the state of Utah's Founders and Constitution Month celebration. And the city desires to participate in the state's invitation to provide the opportunity for the city's school children to read from the United States Constitution and other primary documents. Now therefore, we, the mayor and the city council of West Valley City, Utah, do hereby proclaim as follows. The city proclaims the month of September as Founders and Constitution Month. The city will host a reading of the Constitution during Constitution Week for elementary and secondary students and community leaders. The city will invite representatives from each school in the city to join together at City Hall to read the Constitution. A live stream replay of the reading will be made available. Dated this day of today,
September 5th.
September 5th, 2023. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. We'll now go to our comment period. We will now accept public comment. Comment period is limited to 30 minutes. Any person wishing to speak shall limit their comments to 3 minutes, and we have a timer for you. Upon recognition by the mayor, you will approach the microphone. If you did not sign up, give your name and address. Otherwise, just your name when you approach the mic. All comments shall be directed to the mayor. No person addressing the council during the comment period shall be allowed to comment more than once during the comment period. Speakers should not expect a debate between the mayor, the council, and staff. Mayor, council, and staff will have a chance to respond at the end of this 30 minutes. Speakers shall refrain from personal attacks against fellow citizens, city staff, or members of the council. So we'll now start with speaker 1.
I'm Mike Dye. I'm about 45 words shorter than last time, so progress, right? GPZ 5/2023 proposes rezoning land that is interior to the Highbury community of single-family homes. New development includes resort-style amenities. An argument in favor of the proposal goes something like this. We want economic growth in West Valley City. Wasatch Acquisitions and Capital will pay property taxes on its commercial development. The resort style amenities will bring spenders to the city and so increase sales tax. Therefore, the city should support the rezoning that is required in Highbury, despite the zoning commission's opposition and residents' majority opposition, and the developer should build the resort. This assumes that the development will succeed. If it doesn't, the revenue increase to the city will not obtain. Further, a failed commercial development will decrease property values and encourage economically mobile residents to leave. This erodes the existing tax base from Highbury, much of which comes from professional residents I mentioned last time, who enjoy the community because it's currently a quiet and safe place to live and work. So the development failing is a bad thing for the city. It would actually result in a revenue decrease. But is it likely to fail? As it turns out, the plan is a risky one. The developers admitted that no bank would fund the surf pool. Why would banks find the development risky? Consider that the surf training facility only accommodates 12 users at a time. The cheapest fee option per hour for use of the pool that accommodates 12 is above $100. The per capita income for West Valley City residents, according to the 2021 census, is $25,000 annually. It's not a lot of surf money in there. The off season for surfing in Utah is probably longer than the on season. I'm not really sure. This isn't a general recreation option for anyone. It's a specialized facility for limited use. Elements of the proposal besides the surf training pool seem risky too. Luxury condos are a hard sell in a suburb with a few hundred feet between it and 2 elementary schools. The success of the 6-story hotel depends on keeping it occupied, but it's hard to believe that patrons would pay more to stay there than at one of the 3 newly built hotels within 2 miles of our location. And there's another one going up pretty close by. The development is proposed inside of a neighborhood, a location that is an ill fit for an upscale resort experience. This isn't really Cancun. I've heard that some in the local government are eager for the development, enough that they've promised it to constituents. But promising a wave pool to West Valley City residents and delivering a costly and expensive surf training pool and luxury condos seems like a bad political move. And supporting a risky development that might fail seems even worse. I urge you to vote along with the Planning Commission and deny the proposal when it comes before you. Thanks.
Thank you. Speaker 2. Okay. And speaker 3.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. Parks in our city, the last 5 years, we've had a lot of new parks that have been built, beautiful parks. And they've done nothing but gone downhill. It's a complaint from residents out there. I like parks in the city. I wish we would spend more time. The only way we're gonna get qualified employees is if we start paying them there. We have a park and rec director that's retiring. And now they're proposing to promote another person into that position. Without doing any outside search. There's a lot of county employees that have budget experience that might be a better fit. I think trying to rush into a promotion is wrong. In the study meeting, it was brought up, well, if the new city manager wants to change it, they can do it. But there's a golden parachute that goes along with the promotion. What's the rush? Couple more months, let a new city manager make the decision, use the resources, the time to go out and search for somebody. The golf cart thing, here's an example of, once again, the way the Park and Rec Department, when the question was asked, how much more is it going to be? Oh, maybe woulda, coulda, shoulda, $10,000 a year. It shouldn't, that shouldn't be the question. You should know about what it's going to be. You set budgets. You're supposed to be the financial lead for this department, and you come back with a, well, maybe it's going to be $10,000 a year. $50,000 for the contract. You know, we need to have directors, since we are going to have another city manager, because it's too late to change the form of government, which I'd still like to see happen. Let the new city manager at least pick one of his directors, and he may pick more, and there's no rush to fill this position. That's all I have.
Thank you. Was there anyone that wished to speak that did not have a chance to sign up? And is there anyone online? Okay. Thank you. We'll now close the comment period and I'll turn it over to Mr. Pyle. Did you have any comments for today?
Thanks, ma'am. Nope, I'm
Okay,
good.
and to the council, any comments? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to our public hearings. We have application SA 4-2023, and I'll turn it to Mr. Pyle.
Thank you, ma'am. We got a map up that come up. I wanted to show the lot that we're talking about. So this is a final plat approval, modifying some subdivisions lines, and would create a new lot over in the shops at Lake Park. Everybody's probably familiar with that. Over on 5600 West, has a number of important shops to the city's economy in there. And there on the north end of the development is a parcel of land still undeveloped. It's currently one lot, and they want to change that and split for two businesses. It will be there. It's 4.3 acres total. And the first lot 4B will comprise 3.5 acres, while lot 4C will consist of 0.84 acres.
Okay, thank you. So we'll be considering ordinance 23-30, and I will now turn this to the council for discussion or a motion.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, and the public hearing. See, I'm in a hurry tonight again. Got to stop this. All right, we will now open the public hearing. Was there anyone that wished to speak on this item? Okay, seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. And now I'll turn it to the council to consider ordinance 23-30.
I would motion to approve ordinance 23-30.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Ms. Kamic.
Councilman Whitstone,
Yes.
Councilman Harmon,
Yes.
Councilman Hune,
Yes.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Nordfelt,
Yes.
and Mayor Ling.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, thank you. So we'll move on to our next public hearing, which is application SA 5/2023. We'll turn it to Mr. Pyle.
Thank you, ma'am. This is another final plat approval, which requires a lot line modification. It's a very minor one, and it's in a existing residential development over off 64th West. The applicant wants to make a minor move to his lot line to create the proper setbacks on his property. It's at 3689 South, 6400 West, 0.71 acres, involves, as you see on the map there, 3 lots. But the minor lot line modification is over on the east portion. It's kind of hard to describe, where you've got the cul-de-sac lot there, kind of at the bottom of that, and at the top of the more linear lot there.
Okay, thank you. And basically the house sits on the property line and they just need to move it so that
Yeah.
it's better.
Close enough that, right, they need to move that, and he's got the agreement of his 2 other property owners, and therefore wants to adjust that property
Okay.
line.
Thank you. All right, we'll now open the public hearing. Is there anyone that would like to speak on this issue? Okay, seeing none, we will close the public hearing, and I will turn ordinance 23-31 to the council for discussion or a motion.
I move for approval of ordinance 23-31.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Ms. Kamic?
Councilman Nordfelt,
Yes.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Hune,
Yes.
Councilman Harmon,
Yes.
Councilman Whitstone,
Yes.
and Mayor Ling.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. We'll now move to our resolutions, and we have resolution 23-112. Mr. Pyle?
Thank you, ma'am. There's a relatively new technology called automatic license plate recognition. It's not brand new. It's been around for a couple of years, but in order to use this under the state statute, we need to have a memorandum of understanding with the Department of Public Safety, which governs the uses and the sharing of information in an appropriate way. If we have this technology and have the MOU and are able to use it, we'll then be able to compare license plates against what's called a hot list of various crime associated incidents that could include outstanding warrants, things like that.
Thank you. So I'll turn this to the council, resolution 23-112 for discussion or a motion.
Move to approve resolution 23-112.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Ms. Kamic?
Councilman Whitstone,
Yes.
Councilman Harmon,
Yes.
Councilman Hune,
Yes.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Nordfelt,
Yes.
and Mayor Ling.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. So we'll turn to resolution 23-113. Mr. Pyle?
Thank you, ma'am. We actually have 3 of these resolutions tonight dealing with public safety issues. This one is the renewal of an agreement with the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, or their ATF task force, on which we have 2 investigators. So this renewal of the agreement would allow for our investigators to continue to participate.
Thank you. So for resolution 23-113, turn it to the council for discussion or a motion.
I would motion to approve resolution 23-113.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Ms. Kamic?
Councilman Nordfelt,
Yes.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Hune,
Yes.
Councilman Harmon,
Yes.
Councilman Whitstone,
Yes.
and Mayor Ling.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. We'll now turn to resolution 23-114. Mr. Pyle?
Thank you, ma'am. This agreement would be with the FBI's Violent Crimes Task Force. This is an entity that we have worked with in the past, but currently do not have, and would like to assign an investigator to the position. And in order to do that, we need to re-enter into an agreement with them.
Okay, thank you. So for resolution 23-114, turn it to the council for discussion or a motion.
Move to approve resolution 23-114.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Ms. Kamic?
Councilman Whitstone,
Yes.
Councilman Harmon,
Yes.
Councilman Hune,
Yes.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Nordfelt,
Yes.
and Mayor Ling.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, thank you. We now move to resolution 23-115. Mr. Pyle.
Thanks, ma'am. This would authorize the annual purchase and renewal of a portion of our light fleet and would include 26 vehicles that would cost just over $1.5 million. That would be 16 Interceptor SUVs for the police department. There's a few F-150 trucks in there. I think it's 4, if I remember right, 3 or 4. A couple of larger size, 350, a 550, and a couple of cargo vans
Okay,
are amongst
thank
those.
you. All right, resolution 23-116. I now turn it to the council for discussion or a motion.
I move for approval of resolution 23-115. Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Ms. Kamic.
Councilman Nordfelt,
Yes.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Hune,
Yes.
Councilman Harmon,
Yes.
Councilman Whitstone,
Yes.
and Mayor Ling.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. We'll now turn to resolution 23-116. Mr. Pyle.
Thank you, ma'am. This is another fleet purchase. These are 4 public works trucks that are larger than and don't fall in the light fleet. Also are paid out of a separate fund. This would be from the Class C road funds, as well as some sanitation funds. $345,000 and $31,000 respectively, for a total of $373,000. That's 2 Ford F-550s, 1 International Crew Cab flatbed, and a Ford Maverick Crew cab truck as well, and the associated upfitting.
Okay, thank you. I will now turn resolution 23-116 to the council for discussion or a motion.
Move to approve resolution 23-116.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Ms. Kamic.
Councilman Whitstone,
Yes.
Councilman Harmon,
Yes.
Councilman Hune,
Yes.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Nordfelt,
Yes.
and Mayor Ling.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. So we go through these really quick, but we really have studied them last week in study session and then, well, 2 weeks ago in study section, actually. And then we've had time to ask questions. So we're not just rubber stamping everything. Everybody's had their opportunity to get the information they needed. So we'll go to resolution 23-117. Mr. Pyle.
Thank you, ma'am. One more vehicle purchase. This is a bucket truck used for streetlight maintenance and would be paid for out of the streetlight utility fund. It's projected to cost $184,487. The fiscal impact allowance would be for $200,000.
Okay. All right, we'll take resolution 23-117 and turn it to the council for discussion or a motion.
Good motion to approve resolution 23-117.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Ms. Kamic.
Councilman Nordfelt,
Yes.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Hune,
Yes.
Councilman Harmon,
Yes.
Councilman Whitstone,
Yes.
and Mayor Ling.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Turn to resolution 23-118. Mr. Pyle.
Thank you, ma'am. This award contract to Morgan Pavement would be in the amount of $511,986, although we are asking for $530,000 allowance for any change orders that might arise, and would be paid for out of the Class C road fund and would be used for road surface preservation. So we're not talking asphalt replacement. We're talking seal coat. What's the proper term again they use here? I always have to look at this to get it right. The pavement preservation treatment of friction mastic seal.
Thank you. All right, we'll turn resolution 23-118 to the council for discussion or a motion.
I move to approve resolution 23-118.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Ms. Kamic.
Councilman Whitstone,
Yes.
Councilman Harmon,
Yes.
Councilman Hune,
Yes.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Nordfelt,
Yes.
and Mayor Ling.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. We'll now go to resolution 23-119. Mr. Pyle.
Thank you, ma'am. This would authorize a real estate purchase contract with Magna Water District. We are doing some property exchange as well as some improvements over there where we have some public works and parks facilities next to where Magna Water District's headquarters is. This would be in the amount of $188,700 and would come from the stormwater utility. And would, in addition to the real estate contract, also allow for easement changes, ingress egress access, and other easements associated with culinary water, pressurized irrigation, and sewer projects.
Okay, thank you. I will turn resolution 23-119 to the council for discussion or a motion.
Move to approve resolution 23-119.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Ms. Kamic?
Councilman Nordfelt,
Yes.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Hune,
Yes.
Councilman Harmon,
Yes.
Councilman Whitstone,
Yes.
and Mayor Ling.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. We'll now go to our one item of new business, which is application SMI 4/2023. Mr. Pyle?
Thank you, ma'am. This is a final plat approval request at 6180 West, 4700 South. The applicant is Mr. Ken Milne, a local developer who is proposing or requesting final plat approval for the 4700 South Industrial Park subdivision. If I remember right, yes, there are 5 lots within the subdivision.
Okay, thank you. We will take application SMI 4/2023, turn it to the council for discussion or a motion.
Move to approve application SMI 4-4-2023.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Ms. Kamic?
Councilman Nordfelt,
Yes.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Hune,
Yes.
Councilman Harmon,
Yes.
Councilman Whitstone,
Yes.
and Mayor Ling.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. We'll now go to our consent agenda. We have 4 items. We can take them as a council together or individually. Mr. Pyle, would you like to go through those?
Yes, ma'am. Thanks. So the first 2 are fairly normal ones associated with right-of-way purchases, temporary construction easements, that sort of thing. The first one, 23-120, is a little bit more cost-wise than you sometimes see. I think it was, let me look here real quick, $2,809, so a little bit more, but nothing unusual really. The third one is unusual. That's resolution 23-122, in that it envisages a delay agreement, which we normally don't bring to you at the council's direction. But in this particular one, the improvements that would be made at 6087 West Parkway Boulevard will be made up front or here in the very near future, and then will be, I can't remember if we're reimbursing or if we're doing the construction and then they're getting reimbursed, but one way or the other. What is it, Dan?
They're reimbursing us.
We're doing the work and they'll be reimbursing us. So the delay agreement will be very short in duration.
Okay, thank you.
You bet. And then the last one, 23-123, is an appointment to the Administrative Appeals Board of Mr. Alan Hatch. So
Thank you. Okay, it is at the council's pleasure to take them individually or all at once, and I'll turn it, the consent agenda, to the council.
I move for approval of the 4 items of the consent agenda.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Ms. Kamic?
Councilman Whitstone,
Yes.
Councilman Harmon,
Yes.
Councilman Hune,
Yes.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Nordfelt,
Yes.
and Mayor Ling.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
And now we have one more new business item. It is 23-130. Mr. Pyle?
thank you, ma'am. So this was added as a last minute item. It's a storm drain project we're trying to get completed before the fall closes in, and just were able to reach agreement with property owners and Salt Lake City and the involvement that they had. It's $130,000 would come out of the stormwater utility and is for a storm drain improvement over on 7200 West in the very northwest corner of the city.
Okay, thank you. I'll now turn 23-130 to the council for discussion or a motion.
Motion to approve business item 23-130.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Ms. Kamic?
Councilman Nordfelt,
Yes.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Hune,
Yes.
Councilman Harmon,
Yes.
Councilman Whitstone,
Yes.
and Mayor Ling. Yes. Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, thank you. We do not have a need for a closed session, so we just have one more motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, thank you. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Stand adjourned. Thank you. Thanks for everybody for coming out. And if you didn't vote, go vote.